had this experience where you're listening to a podcast or a video or something and you just kind of hear something that kind of blows your mind, and it's so much of an aha moment that it just sort of stops you in your tracks? Well, I was having this experience this week. I was listening to these two people talk, really two brilliant people, and I'll link the podcast down below in the description if you want to watch it yourself. It's kind of, the topic might be a little off-putting for some people, but I found it fascinating. I am also Scorpio rising, so full disclosure, but I thought it was very interesting. Anyways, they're talking about lots and lots of things. So towards the end of this podcast, she has this theory. The lady has a theory about how she likes to use the language of a part of me is angry. So like a part of me is angry or a part of me is jealous, instead of saying all of me is angry or all of me is jealous, like I'm angry. So here's her theory. She had this correlation to monotheism and polytheism. So monotheism is one God and polytheism is multiple gods. So this was kind of how things were until, around 2,000 years or so ago, that there were multiple gods and there were so many archetypes to be pulling from, stories and myths and different ideas, so that parts of you could be expressed in that way and not have it be all you. Whereas this monotheistic concept is I am, right? I am angry, or I am jealous, or I am happy. It doesn't really account for all the pieces of us. And so when she was saying all this, I was thinking, wow, in a polytheistic concept, it's corollary, or it's relatable to astrology, because when we look at our chart has all these planets. The planets are archetypes. They're mythology, they're mythic. And these mythologies in these different places in your chart are playing out. They're playing out this story. And it's you. It's who you are. And I'm doing, the research and stuff for my Wizard of Oz idea. And I was talking about Mercury today. I was thinking about Mercury today. And, that's the messenger. And we have all these different messenger types that we can be. And there's so much variation of theme, but it's all relating back to that same archetype. Now, you might have more Mercury-esque energy than someone else. Someone else may be more Saturnian or Uranian or Venusian, whatever. But the truth is we all have that one archetype, but not just that one archetype. We have all of them. We have all of them. All of the gods are playing those archetypical roles in our lives, and it's relating to certain parts of us. So I just thought it was really interesting to think about that. The monotheism really puts us in a tight space of, it's dualism, right? I am this, or I am not this. Whereas if you think about the other way that she's saying, like maybe your Mars is activated and you're feeling jealous. Like part of me feels jealous. Not all of me does, part of me does, or whatever, whatever the feeling is. The other things that I liked, they were saying a lot, were about manifestation. You'll find a lot of people that are more rational, that become esoteric expressors, like whatever this is, whatever I'm doing. It's still, you're trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to understand what's, real and what's not real. What even is real? If it's real for one person, does it mean it's not real for me? Does that mean it's not real at all? No. There's no absolutes. So anyway, I'm trying to figure it out. But one thing I know for sure is that our thoughts do lead to our reality. And we are magnetizing things towards us based on our perspectives, based on what we're putting out. And the biggest obstacle to manifestation, which is such a loaded word, I don't like using it, but for a lack of a better word, the worst part about it is when we don't know what we want, because narrowing it down to what we want, even a few things, even like just crystallizing a little bit, is so powerful, because once we know what we want, it's more of a, what's the word I want to say? There's just so much more potential for it to happen because you're aware. The awareness is the key, I think. The awareness is the key. So this lady in this podcast, if you do end up listening to it, I would love to hear what you think about it. But basically, her whole concept is reclaiming the body, reclaiming your pleasure, and reclaiming your desire, and knowing what your desire is. And when you're divorced from your desire, you're cut off from knowing what you even want. So I'm not saying that she knows everything or anything. I mean, I don't even know if I'm fully agreeing with what she's talking about, but some of this conceptually makes a lot of sense to me. She said that you start to believe you deserve those things because you have more allowance of pleasure in your life. Now, that doesn't have to be just a physical pleasure. It can be, allowing yourself to have the time to read a book, or allowing yourself to laugh at stuff that you think is funny, even though somebody else might think is stupid, or listen to the music that you like. So anyway, she's saying that when you allow your pleasure to come through in your nervous system, you have more power to manifest because you believe you're deserving of pleasure. The last thing I wrote on this almost impossible to follow and read note, like there's arrows, it doesn't even make sense to me, and I wrote it. But she says, we don't get what we want. We get what we are, and what we are is made up of what we believe we deserve. So it's late. When it's late like this, I just, should I get my ukulele? I don't know, why not? It's just that, I just think about people and the people that I talk to, and I just enjoy what I do so much. And I enjoy the people I talk to very, very much. And what I want them to know, and I want you to know, is that you're okay as you are. And there's nothing wrong with you. You deserve love. You deserve passion. You deserve somebody to think you're great. I think you're great. And here's a song that I learned this week. I'll just do a little bit of it. So if you're annoyed by music, bye. I'll talk to you next time. If you're not, here we are. Okay. Now, it's called Jay's Lullaby. It's a sweet, very sweet song. I'll put the link in the description as well. And she's very sweet about it. I'll do my best. I give you the sun if you asked me. You could have all of the time. I give you the stars and the trees. When dividing up the universe, you could have mine. You could have mine. I give you the sun. I give you the sun. I give you the sun if you ask me. You could have all of my time. I give you the stars and the trees, dividing up the universe. You could have mine, mine, mine. You could have mine, mine. You could have mine. Okay, next video is the scarecrow video. Okay. All right, good night.